Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your guy MP, the number one voice of sports in Las Vegas. This is No Safe Take, and this is the No Safe Take of the day. If you watch First Take, which that's a lot of takes right there, they had Wilbon on this morning, and they were talking NBA. Of course, we're in the heat of it, heat of the playoffs, so the conversation is really going to lean. As you can see, I'm talking about it a lot. But the conversation came to, could the Spurs win the championship this year? And Wilbon was like, "No, there's no way. They can't do this. OKC is that guy. That team SGA, and it's going to be a rough road. They have the deep bench." And then he started talking about their steps to get to this thing. They have to go through it. They have to win. They have to earn. And I thought about it, and then I went, you know what? He's thinking about the '80s, because back then in the '80s, that's what you had to do. Teams had to go through processes in order to win those championships. You had the pecking order. Boston, LA, they had to beat one another in order to finally get to their championships. Then there was the Lakers scenario where, the Lakers in Portland back in the day, they had their battles. And, then you had the Boston Celtics. The Celtics had to get through things they had to win. Philadelphia had to beat Boston in order to finally break through to get to their championship. The Pistons finally had to beat Boston to make it to the finals, and then they had to beat the Lakers to finally win that thing. And I was like, you know what, Wilbon? Okay, okay. I see where you're coming with it. You're OG. We OGs. But with that said, this ain't the same league anymore. If we look at it, we look at what happened to OKC. They had a great season. Then guess what? The next season, they won it all. And it was just that turnaround, great coaching, SGA, regardless of how you feel about him with the chicken wings that he's given when, he's breaking away and getting open. But in essence, I'm looking at this and going, so why can't the Spurs win this year? I mean, arguably, they have, and people aren't giving it to him right now. But I have to say, he is one of the top players, Wemby, in the league. And when I say top players, I'm talking 1 through 3. From what he can do from a skill set, it's unbelievable. And then you look at the Cell brothers. They're just getting down. What are they all 6'6" with braids? And Vassell, Castell, whatever, And then we go, man, you have Brown, who just won the Sixth Man of the Year. You have your vets and Harrison Barnes and De'Aaron Fox. So, yeah, they can win. And let's not forget that they actually handled OKC during the regular season 4-1, and won the series. So, no, I'm not taking it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it at all. I said that the Pistons were going to win, and get through it all. And I was wrong, and I took those receipts yesterday, and that's okay, man. You can be wrong about things. That's what's so beautiful about sports. But you got to man up. And I'm manning up to say, I think the Spurs can win it all this season. They have the pieces. Unfortunately, you look at a team like Minnesota, lost their point guard and DiVincenzo, Ant-Man. They're saying it's a couple of weeks, so they may not even get out of this next round. But what they are doing, the Spurs, is incredible. And what Wemby is bringing to the table is incredible. He is changing the game right in front of us. He is that generational guy. He is that LeBron that we talked about. He's living up to his height, which we all know is hard in any sport. But in basketball, because it's so, it's only five guys out there. And so the focus is more on you. So, yeah, no, OKC, you better watch out because the Spurs are right there, and you know it. Tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm wrong. Let me know. Hey, this is a conversation, man, and I'm open for it. Let's debate this thing because the way I see it, man, the Spurs, I think it's going to be them this season. Hey, this is No Safe Take. This is the No Safe Take of the day. Make sure and follow me everywhere at No Safe Takes _. It's your guy MP, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.